Hello students, so today we will continue lesson 6. So today we will study the topic network protocols. So as we all live in a world where millions of people across the globe speaks hundreds of different languages. So we would never be able to communicate worldwide if there are no standards governing the way we communicate and the way our machines process data. So as you all know, if we want to have a communication from the people of another country, so we have to know a standard language for, and that language is owned by both the citizens of the country. So that's why, as we all know, that English is a language which is internationally followed by all over the countries. So if you want to have a communication between two different uh, citizens of different countries, so both the person has to know the English language. Similarly, there also in the computer field, if he wants to establish a communication between over the different networks, so there we have to follow a standard communication protocol that is a standard language. Here these standards are nothing but the set of rules that how the messages are exchanged over the network. And this set of certain rules will determine how the data should be transferred over the networks, how it will be compressed, and how it will be presented on the screen and so on. And these sets of rules are called the protocols. Likewise, there are many other protocols, each one governing the way a certain technology works. Hence, the basic need of protocol is to standardize the processes and the ways of communicating over a computer network. Among this protocol, the most common protocols is U, that is the TCP and IP protocol. That is called the Transmission Control Protocol or the Internet Protocol. So there are so many protocols, and every protocols govern a certain technology. Every protocol work for a certain technology. So each protocol is not applicable to all the technology. So that is the TCP/IP. This TCP/IP is a suite of communication protocol and used to connect various computers on the internet. With the help of this TCP/IP, various computers over the network, internet is connected. It provides the end-to-end data communication and is specifying how data should be broken into pieces called the packets and transmitted and routed from one network to another until they reach their destination. So in the TCP/IP protocol, as we are sending the data, suppose that data is of 500 MB. So and that data will be broken down into a small size of information that is called the packets. So that 500 MB data will be broken down. Suppose that is into the 100 packets. So 500 MB is divided into 100 packets. So the size of each packet will be 5 MB. Now that 100 packets will be transmitted over the network from the sender end to the destination end. How it will be? Each packet there will be assigned a sequence number. That is the packet number 1, packet number 2, packet number 3. Now, the sender end will send the packet having the sequence number 1 and the receiver will receive the packet number 1. Now, the receiver will wait for the second packet and after receiving the packet 1, the receiver will send us a acknowledgement signal to the receiver that I have got the packet 1 successfully. You can transmit the packet number 2. Now, the receiver will wait for the acknowledgement signal of the sender. Now, if the receiver has got the acknowledgement signal from the sender that I have that the receiver has got the packet number 1, so the sender will send the packet number 2. If suppose in meanwhile the packet number 2 is lost and the receiver haven't got the packet number 2 and it is and the sender has sent the packet number 3 also. So what will happen? The receiver will reject the packet number 3 because the receiver haven't got the packet number 2. So the receiver will not accept the packet number 3 because the receiver is expecting the packet number 2 having the sequence number 2. Now what will happen? The receiver will wait for the acknowledgement signal and the receiver, after not getting the acknowledgement signal, the receiver will retransmit the packet number 2 again. Now the second time, maybe the receiver will get the packet number 2, and after that it will send the acknowledgement signal to the sender. Now the sender will send the packet number 3. Like this, the communication in the TCP/IP protocol happens. So this TCP/IP is a combination of two separate protocols. That is the transfer control protocol, that is the TCP, used for reliable and foolproof data transmissions over the network. And it is also responsible for dividing the data into packets at the sender sites for assembling these packets at their correct destination. So dividing the data into the small packets and assigning the sequence number of the packets, that is done by the TCP protocol. Next is the IP protocol or Internet Protocol. This Internet Protocol provides a sequence number to each of these packets so that they might reach their destination in the correct order. And also it handles the addressing of the each packet so that it is delivered to the correct destination. Now with the help of this IP protocol, this will provide a sequence number to each of the packets, and the responsibility of this IP protocol is to deliver the packets at the correct destination, means at the correct address. So whatever the IP address is there, each IP address, every all the IP addresses written on the each packet so that is delivered to the correct destination. As you can see in the figure 6.17, you see here that is the sender, and here the sender, step 1, that is the protocol breaks the data into packets. Now, in the step 2, you can see the packets travel from one router to the other router over the internet according to the IP protocol. So, here is the recipient, and the packets which is broken is sent to the nearest router. And the nearest router receives the packet and it will check the destination address. After seeing the destination address in the packet, the router informs that this destination address is not available in the routing in the register of the router, means that computers are not connected to that router. So what this router will do? It will broadcast that packet to the nearest router. Now this packet from the router 1 is transferred to the second nearest router. That is, you can see the second router. Now again the second router, after receiving the packet, what it finds that the packet is not belongs to this router. Again this router will retransmit the packet to the nearest router. Now from router 2 to the packet will reach to the router 3, and after that router 3 to router 4 similarly, and at the end the destination router, here it finds that these packets, the address is written, the destination address belongs to that router, and the recipient computer is connected to this router. So after taking the packet, it will send that packets to the recipient computer where the correct address is matching. Now the second protocol is the HTTP protocol, that is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This HTTP protocol determines that how different programs exchange the data over the internet. So it defines how messages are formatted and transmitted, and what action the web servers and browsers should take in response to various commands. So this HTTP protocol is used to exchange the data over the internet and over the websites. In this protocol, the rules are also written that how the packets will be formatted, how the messages will be formatted, and how it will be transmitted, and what action the web servers and browsers would take in response to the various commands. So, now, as you can see in the figure 6.18, the working of the HTTP, how it works. As you can see here, one web browser is the HTTP client. So the HTTP client is the web browser. This web browser sends the HTTP request message to the HTTP server. Now, HTTP server, web server got the request from the client, and it will send the response, HTTP response to the client. In this what, suppose if you are typing any address, suppose you are typing the domain name on the browser, suppose you have typed www.facebook.com. So the request for the home page of the Facebook, that will send to the server of the Facebook. After getting the request, HTTP request from the client, the Facebook server will give the reply by sending the HTML code, HTML code of the uh, home page of the Facebook to the client. Now that HTML code received by the client to the network, and that client web browser will execute that HTML code and create a web page, that is the home page of the Facebook. Now you can see here a website usually contains some text, images, and sometimes the sound effects as well. So whenever you open such a website, do you only see a text or pictures? So on the website we find the text also, and we are seeing the pictures also, and we are seeing the videos also. So we usually see the complete website. So hypertext is a system in which different types of documents or files, such as images, sound effects, and text are linked to each other. And these documents can be easily accessed with the help of the web browser.